Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. I'm feeling a lot better this week than I was last week when I was fighting the man flu. Or some of my friends say the Spanish flu or whatever, I don't know, whatever we want to call it. I was fighting some kind of flu here. And I'm feeling a lot better now. Got a lot more energy. Enough energy for me to do a 3-hour live stream here with you guys. So I'll be around for the next 3 hours. Hopefully you guys, I don't know, let's see who's going to stick around long enough for 3 hours. But I'm here to answer your questions here about Bitcoin and crypto and whatever stocks or commodities, oil, gold, whatever you want to take a look at. Pretty sure we'll have enough time to look at all of that. But we normally get started by looking at the price of Bitcoin, and then we start looking at the other assets that are out there that are tradable and investable around the world here. And we'll first get started with Bitcoin here, currently trading at around $74,000. Bitcoin is, on a tear, actually. This is just not normal for Bitcoin to do like 8 days in the green. Was this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 8 days? We're about to get 8 days of green. I would expect, we're due for a pullback at some point here, guys. We're supposed to have at least one red day here. It's not always going to be green forever, but I guess this is just in time for St. Patrick's Day, right? We got all this green showing up on the charts here for St. Patrick's Day. I think that's what, tomorrow or Wednesday or something like that, one of those days there. But yeah, definitely green for St. Patrick's Day. What I see, in the charts here, if I go into the 3-day chart, changes up the candles here a little bit. But what I'm a little bit worried about right now coming up here is the potential resistance from this 21 exponential moving average, which is this white line here. It's hanging out at 75k. It's could be a possibility where we get rejected at 75k, and then maybe that's it for this little rally that we got, and then maybe we go down to lower prices. Now I know you Bitcoin bulls don't want to hear that. You guys think that we've already done going down. It's time for us to go up. But we do have to see the bulls pull through and push us past this white line. I think it is possible for us to push past this white line here. Maybe head up to 80k. That's why I titled the live stream, could we see Bitcoin go up to 80k, one last resistance before 80k, and it's this white line here that could knock us down. This white line, let me just show you a little bit of history as to what this white line has done to us in the past here. But this white line, this 21 EMA, right? We lost it here in October, right? Came up to it towards the end of October of last year, and then lost it again, and that was kind of like game over for Bitcoin after that, okay? We came down, got a bounce off of 80k here, and then we came right back up to this white line one more time here. This was around January when we had a little bit of a relief rally on with Bitcoin, where we saw Bitcoin, after it dropped down from 80k, we saw it go back up to 97k, kind of challenged the possibility of going up to 100k Bitcoin here, okay? And yeah, you were above this white line, but that was short-lived. That was only for like a month here, and then you came back down. Towards the end of January, you lost to 21 EMA. Could we get something like this that we saw back here in January, where if we can get back above this 21 EMA and actually climb above it, maybe head up to 80k, maybe we might see something like we saw back here in January. Well, it was only about a couple of months ago, guys. Back in January, where we saw Bitcoin threaten to go up to 100k. I think we could possibly see a relief rally here, okay, where we actually head up to 80k. And then other areas to look for, I know 80k is what people are honing in on because it's just an easy number that rolls off the tongue. It's a psychological number here. But there are some levels here for us to look out for, more specific in the 80k range, and that's $84,500 Bitcoin, which has acted as support back here in November and December of last year, okay? That could act as resistance as we try to get up to 84k. And then, of course, there's 87k, 87,500, which has acted as support all throughout, like, November, December, and January of earlier this year, okay? Another area that I think, Bitcoin could have a struggle trying to get past, because whoever bought here, in December of last year, thinking that they were getting cheaper Bitcoin, well, it got cheaper on them. It got way cheaper than what they bought it at. If they're not in it for the long run, if they can't, hold on to their losses here with Bitcoin, to eventually see some gains and profits in Bitcoin, then they're probably going to want to sell when Bitcoin gets back to break even for them, which is at 87K. So 87K and 84K are still on my chart here. But right now, I'm currently worried about what's going to happen here when we get up to this white line, this 21 EMA at 75K. It has acted as a problem back in the past here on the 3-day chart. Okay, we've seen this been a problem here. Okay, and yeah, this wasn't a problem here in January, but then we lost it, and then that has been a problem after we lost it. Okay, so I want to see how we handle ourselves here at 75K, and that's only about $1,000 away from where we are right now, guys. Okay, so I think, you know, 75K, we'll see how Bitcoin does. Let me get into the daily time frame, because there is another area that I'm a little bit interested, as well as possible resistance, and this is the 78K area, which is where Bitcoin traded sideways in the beginning of February here. That could act as a potential price support and resistance area where we could get rejected at 78K. So I think, you know, if you're interested in shorting Bitcoin, I mean, I know some are interested in doing it right now at 74K, but I think you could possibly wait until 75 or 78K to try to enter a short. That's the zone that I'm looking for. And maybe I should probably draw a rectangle here so that we guys can understand, like, you know, what I'm looking for here on Bitcoin. But if I put a zone here, okay, between like 75 and 78K, this is where I think you could try to entertain the idea of entering a short. Now, if we enter a short on Bitcoin and we get stopped out, you get stopped out. Don't try to reinitiate the short, okay, until you get confirmation. It's a little bit, even though it might seem like a good idea to short Bitcoin right now, if you're putting your stop loss really tight, like, you know, $500 or $1,000 above where the price is, and you get stopped out, and then it goes up another $1,000, and then you get stopped out, and then it goes up another $1,000, then guess what? You're losing money as a day trader doing that. That's a little bit it's not really revenge trading, but it's like over trading. Okay, so the idea is, you know, pick your levels. I'm picking 75K. If I get stopped out on my short on Bitcoin at 75K, I wait. All right, I see if Bitcoin goes up to like 78K. And then I'll try to enter a short there. And if I get stopped out, then you know what? It probably means Bitcoin wants to go up into the 80K area. So then we got to entertain the idea that Bitcoin's probably going to go up to $84,000 or $87,000. And then that might be another area to enter a short. But I think in the meantime, you could probably try to carry yourself on with a long here on Bitcoin until we get up to like 84K or 87K. Okay? That's an idea where you could be long Bitcoin, even use leverage trading, to continue to stay along on Bitcoin on your way up to 87K, and then, you know, you pick your areas for your hedge short. Your hedge short, you're gonna try to short at 78K. If that doesn't work, then you can try to short at 84K. If that doesn't work, then you're gonna try to short at 87K. Okay, and then one of those shorts will actually hit and stay, and then you'll make money on the way down. You know, if Bitcoin makes a lower high at 87K and comes down, then you can make money on your short on your way down, okay? And then if you're in a short at 87K, then you'll probably want to maybe entertain the idea of taking some hedge longs, where you can try to see if Bitcoin will get support off of this 50-day moving average, this green line sitting at 80K. Maybe if you short at 87K, you could try to long at 80K, all right, as a hedge long, and see if, you know, you get these little ups and downs where the price of Bitcoin, it does go up and down, but you're picking your specific points here. And we're picking points from previous support and resistance areas. That's why we're entertaining the idea of shorting Bitcoin at those levels here. We're not just randomly going up and saying, all right, Bitcoin's at 74K, let me short. Bitcoin's at 75K, let me short. We're picking specific areas. Now, 74K, for those who are interested in shorting Bitcoin right now, is an area that we got up to back here on March 4th. And I think that's why some people are interested in shorting Bitcoin at 74K. I actually shorted Bitcoin at 74K, well, not 74K, but 73,500 on Friday, and was able to take that down to like 71, 72K, and actually make some money on a short. Okay, and then I flipped it to a long at 71K, and I was able to carry myself right back up to 74K and take some profit. So if you're, you know, able to finesse, you know, the trading, if you actually know what you're doing when you're day trading, then you can actually make some money shorting long in here. But I think for those who are interested in just getting a solid short in, yeah, you could try that now, but just know that we might continue pushing up past that. 75K might be another idea, okay? But 78K is another area that I'm looking for, and then 84K for a short, okay? And when I say these areas are good for shorting, this is actually good for taking profit on your longs too. So if you're in a long and you're making money on Bitcoin, consider taking some profit at 75K, some more profit at 78K, and then try and take some more profit at 84K. Now there's also an idea here with this 50-day moving average. You could probably take some profit at 80K too. Just showing that 80,600 could be an area where we might get rejected off that 50-day moving average, okay? But these are just ideas and some zones to be looking for, guys, here. I know I did a lot of talking here. Let me get into the chat, see what you guys have to say about what I just said there about Bitcoin. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at some of your requests here and see what you guys have to say about, your particular stocks and crypto that you're interested in me checking out here. We have WEEX NDOBD on YouTube here. Says, hope you feel better. Thank you, WEEX. Appreciate that. Is that someone from WEEX that is watching my live stream right now? I know I do work with one of the guys that is over at the WEEX cryptocurrency exchange, and I don't know if that's him or not, but good to see that there's someone there from WEEX checking me out here. Let's see. We also got Kevin Hawthorne's in the chat. Good to see you. And we got Jay. Jay's already putting in his request. He wants to take a look at Iren and Poet. So I'll go ahead and write those down. But let me also check in with my TikTok guys and see what they have put in for requests, because I'm pretty sure there's some people there that probably put some requests while I was doing all that talking there about Bitcoin, giving you the levels to look for. Okay. I'm currently not in a trade on Bitcoin. I finished a trade yesterday where I bought Bitcoin at 71K, 71,300, and I took profit at 74K. Not knowing it was going to hit that day, but it did. So I'm kind of fat and happy off of that trade right now. I am currently trading oil right now, and I still want to be long in oil because I don't think the things are quite coming to an end here for the Strait of Hormuz and the oil situation there. Even though Donald Trump and the administration, they want to say that the war is over, it's not over until the enemy agrees that the war is over and they get a vote and say as like what's going to happen next. So sounds like they want to continue fighting. So I'm not sure how that's going to end. But yeah, let me see what you guys saying here on the TikTok. We got Chiyama says, what's my thoughts on Ethereum and XLM? Go ahead and write those down. Appreciate those requests. We can take a look at those. G Money says, do I think Bitcoin chops sideways and then up a little longer before any big moves? Bitcoin could chop right here. Yeah. If we don't push past 74K sooner rather than later, the shorts are going to entertain the idea of shorting Bitcoin right now. And of course, the longs are going to try to, buy the dip whenever they can. But I mean, right now it makes sense for us to do a bull flag and consolidate and chop sideways. But we can take a look at the 1 hour chart. We'll take a look at Bitcoin again later. Actually, that's not on it right now. I'll take a look at the 1 hour chart. Let's see. Are we going to chop sideways? Is the trend pretty strong here in the 1 hour time frame? I'm on the 1 hour time frame and I'm looking at the MACD. I see selling pressure here. Okay, after we just had buying pressure earlier this morning for Bitcoin. Are we going to chop? Tough to say. Okay. Choppiness on the 1 hour time frame will look like, you get a little bit of red, a little bit of green, a little bit of red, a little bit of green, but it's just not enough buying pressure or selling pressure. The thing is, we actually did get a pretty significant buying pressure early this morning to get us up to like 74K. And the selling pressure is looking weak. And if we get significant buying pressure, so like I think what's going to happen next here with Bitcoin in the next few hours is we'll see selling pressure die off. Maybe start seeing some buying pressure later on tonight. And if the buying pressure is strong and vigorous, then we're not going to get chopped. We're actually going to probably punch through to at least 75K or maybe 78K. But if the buying pressure is weak later on tonight, then you'll probably see some chop going into tomorrow morning, and then maybe tomorrow morning we might see a significant move on Bitcoin. So I think the significant move, if you're looking for a significant move on Bitcoin, and it's going to probably happen either later on tonight or tomorrow morning. And if it doesn't happen, then that means we're just chopping around. All right, let's see. Thomas says, why still casino game? I don't know what you mean by that. Casino game. We're just listening to, I'm looking at some people saying that Bitcoin is going to go up to 78K. I mean, I just talked about 78K. Kalu says, what do I think it will go up to 76K? I think 78K, you know, between 75 and 78K is where we should be taking profit on our longs on Bitcoin and then entertaining the idea of possibly entering a short. Okay, it's not a bad area to try to short Bitcoin. But just don't go crazy on the shorts. If you get stopped out, it probably means Bitcoin does want to continue going up. So just don't overtrade. Don't do revenge trading either. Although revenge trading would actually be you betting that it's going to go short. Then the price goes up, knocks you out, and then it actually goes down below where you entered your short. And then you start getting angry and you do a revenge trade. So that's a revenge trade. I'm just cautioning against overtrading and just getting stopped out. Because if you do it out a bunch of times, then you will actually lose quite a bit of money just trying to enter the short over and over and over again. Which I'm pretty sure some people have done already over the past couple of weeks now while Bitcoin's been climbing up. Alright, I think that's it for the comments here. Let me try to work on some of these requests here. We got Iran as a request, then I'll jump over to Ethereum, and then I'll come back to Poet, and then I'll jump over to XLM. Let's go ahead and take a look at these other assets here. So we got Iran as a stock here, which I believe is like a data center. It does a data center for like AI and stuff like that, which it's been a hot ticket item, a hot ticket business to be in the past couple of years. But Iran looks like it's seen its best days, well, last year. I saw it around like October of last year when it was at $74. And then we saw it at $76 on November of last year. I'm just giving a little bit of history because not everybody here is familiar with Iran. Okay. But yeah, Iran, right? Iran looks like it is still in a downtrend here. And we're not in an uptrend, right? Because you're making the lower, you got a low here, lower high compared to what you had back here in November. And, you know, we are trying to make the case of being somewhat bullish here, okay? But we're still on lower high because if we don't go higher than what we did here back in January in Iran, where we're at like $63.59, then it could possibly be just another lower high. And then what, we go down to low prices after that? The only thing that stopped Iran from going down lower was this 200-day moving average, this red line here, okay? Acted as support back here on March 9th, okay? So we got that going for us right here at, let's see, $36.23 is the 200-day moving average is where we were at for Iran. I think we got to stay above $36 because if we don't stay above this 200-day moving average, then you know my thoughts and opinions, or at least most of the people that have been following me and watching me know my thoughts and opinion about the 200-day moving average. You lose that and you're in a bear market, right? And in stock market world, their definition of a bear market is anytime an asset's below 20% from its all-time high or the highest for the year, you're in a bear market, right? They consider 10% a correction in stock market world, and they consider it 20% below is a bear market. And yeah, Iran is definitely below 20% from where it was back in November when we saw this thing at $76. We're currently trading at $44.94. Well, actually, we have post-market hours. We got after-market hours here at $44.80. So you're trading well below 20%. So you're in a bear market on Iran, but you'll be further in the bear market if you lose this 200-day moving average. So that's why I'm concerned about Iran losing this 200-day moving average. But let's see if Iran has any momentum to go to higher prices here. And we're looking at the MACD indicator here as one of the momentum indicators to look out for. And we do have a MACD crossover to the upside here that happened about last week, March 11th here. And you started seeing buying pressure show up here. You can continue doing that and you will see higher prices here for Iran. So Iran looks like it's beginning to do something good here where we could possibly go to higher prices. Okay. And that's just looking at the MACD indicator here, where you got the MACD upside, you got the blue line crossing the orange line to the upside here. And, you know, because of that, you started seeing the buying pressure showing up here. And I just want to see more buying pressure, increasing buying pressure, because that's how you're going to get the price to go up, is you got to see that buying pressure start increasing. Like you saw back here in the end of December going into January. You want to see that buying pressure pushing the price up, okay? So that's what I want to see here for Iran. I want to see it continue doing that. It's already doing it, so it's already doing what it needs to do, but it needs to continue doing that. And then here on the market cipher B indicator, money flow indicator, we have money flows in green. You can see that right here. It's like light green, but it's been green since February 18th. And you had a green buy dot that came in on March 11th. So you're looking good to go to high prices here on Iran. Okay. You got the money flow in the green, and you got that green buy dot. I'm not seeing anything here that says, whoa, caution, we're probably going to top out and go down to lower prices here. You're not getting that, because if we got like a red sell dot here, okay, one of these magenta red sell dots here, then I'd be like, all right, maybe something's wrong here. Maybe Iran's done going up for now, okay? But you still got this green buy dot, so this is still saying that you can be bullish here on Iran. Now that we know that there's a direction that Iran probably wants to go, which is up in this case, how far up could it possibly go? We got the 50-day moving average above us, this green line here at $47.93. That's an idea where you could probably take some profit if you're already long in Iran right now. You might want to take some profit at that $47 level there, okay? Other levels to look out for would be the Fibonacci numbers here. Now I kind of see my Fibonacci's kind of like getting covered by these candles here, but you can kind of see like $55 and $53 would be the next levels here. Let me see if I can just scoot this over to the right so you can see those numbers better. Hopefully I might have to remeasure this again, but if you get the basic idea here, the basic gist is that we could come up to like $52 and $54, and that could be another area where you can take some profit on your Iran. And if it does that, I think that's like a 10% move up in price from where we are right now. Let me just measure that out real quick here. If we come up to those that golden pocket level there, oh, actually I take that back. I said 10%, did I? I meant to say 20%. Yeah, because going from 40 to 50, that's about like a 20% move up in price. So there you go. I would don't get too greedy. Take some profit at the 50-day moving average. Take some profit at the Fibonacci here, the golden pocket level, and think yourself later if it does end up rolling over, and maybe you can buy back in again at a lower price after you sell at that golden pocket level there. Okay, so there's something to take in consideration. Yeah, downside target 200-day moving average below you, sitting at $37. Upside target, we're looking for that 50-day moving average above us at $47.93, and then also the golden pocket level here at $54. I think that's about as much analysis I'll give you for Iran. Let's try to move on and take a look at Ethereum. Okay, was another request that we got here. There you go, Ethereum. Nice to see Ethereum at $2,300. Currently trading about $163 than where it was yesterday. Up 7.4%. Congratulations to the Ethereum investors. And oh, there we go. We see Matty Ghost is in the chat. Matty's asking for grass. He thinks grass is going to go to 50. And Jay, you're welcome. You're welcome on that analysis. I love you too, man. All right. Jay says, love you, bro. All right. Moving on from we just took a look at Iran. Now we're not taking a look at Ethereum. I'm actually trying to catch up and see what else we got here. I see. Oh, we got another guy from WEEX here. We got a couple of guys from WEEX checking out my live stream. Good to see you guys on the Meet Damien live stream here on YouTube. And I just got a request here from Ans. Ans wants to take a look at Dash. All right, we'll write that down. So as you guys see, I am doing a YouTube and a TikTok live stream at the same time. My YouTube guys can see me, and they can see that got the phone right here. Okay. For my TikTok guys, I'm doing a dual live stream here. And I'm trying to answer the chat on both TikTok and YouTube at the same time. You guys keep me busy. We're doing a long live stream today, 3-hour live stream. Let's see. All right, let's get into the analysis for Ethereum. Ethereum kind of looks similar to what Bitcoin does, but it looks like Ethereum. I mean, I think Ethereum is ready to go up to higher prices here. I mean, I'll look at the momentum indicators to see if it's going to continue, but I know that $2,500 is a level for us to look out for here above us if Ethereum is going to continue being bullish, and that's basically where Ethereum was trading at back here in May of last year, all the way up until July of last year, a lot of people were buying and selling Ethereum at $2,500. That is your resistance to the upside. Okay, so when we get up to $2,500, I would start taking some profit on the longs. I would try to entertain the idea of taking a short at $2,500 Ethereum. Okay, because you have to think about this for a second. Anybody who bought Ethereum here and they think we're in a bear market and, you know, we're probably going to go low prices, or they just can't stand the volatility of Ethereum anymore, they're going to want to break even at $2,500, and we're only about $150 away from that, so they can actually break even and give up on Ethereum if that's what they want to do. Okay, and if they do that, I mean, you could come join them and take profit along with those people who feel trapped, you know, being, you know, with Ethereum being their cost basis at $2,500. You could try to sell with them at $2,500. Okay, so I think this is a zone for you to look for. Okay, this red line that I already highlighted on the chart here. Another area to take in consideration for Ethereum is that we could see Ethereum get rejected off this 50-day moving average, this green line at 2,600 bucks. Now, granted, this green line is coming down. Okay, so as the days and weeks go by here, this 50-day moving average will start creeping down, and then if the price does creep up, you know, when X marks the spot, which probably is going to be about right where this $2,500 level is where Ethereum will probably get knocked down initially. Okay, I say initially because, you know, Ethereum could do something like this. Let me just try to draw this out real quick here. But Ethereum could do something like this, where it comes up to that $2,500 level here, gets rejected. Maybe we retest $2,300, make a higher low, and then shoot up and break past $2,500 on our way to higher prices here. Okay, that's something that it's just an idea, something to take in consideration here. Not saying that's how it's going to play out. I'm not a psychic. I'm not from the future, but I would consider taking profit. Being a good day trader, a good TA, someone that follows and respects the TA, I would try to take profit if we hit that 50-day moving average at $2,600. It's about like another 10% move up, 10 or 15% move up from where we are right now. So don't get too greedy. Take some profit. Try to back in again at a higher low if you see that forming. Okay, and that's just how you continue to make money as a trader and investor here. Okay, because you just don't know. You just don't know if we're going to get knocked down here, and then maybe something happens like this where we actually come down, and then, you know, I don't know, something bad happens in the Middle East. Maybe you know, another war breaks out somewhere, and it sends the markets into a panic, and we come back to low prices below you know, where we're at right now. So, you know, wouldn't you be happy to be selling Ethereum at $2,600? So that way maybe you can then buy back in again at $1,800 if we ever revisit $1,800, and that's the other level to look forward to the downside, is $1,800 here. Okay, let's see if we can stay above that level there, because if we don't stay above $1,800, then guess what? There's also another support level below you, not too far away. That 1650 level is the level that we were trading at back here in April of last year. Okay, and that's going to be your last line of defense here before you go even lower on Ethereum. Okay, but we'll take it day by day. First, we have to actually go lower than 1,800, and then we'll start talking about 1,650 maybe. But we're on an uptrend here on Ethereum, and let's just see if we can actually maintain that uptrend. Let's look at the momentum indicators here. We're looking at the MACD indicator one more time here, and you can see that the MACD indicator looks very good and strong for Ethereum to go up to higher prices here. I think that's what's frustrating the crap out of the shorts and the bears, is that we still have, you know, buying pressure on Ethereum, and it's been like that since Valentine's Day, since February 14th. When you got that MACD crossover to the upside, you've had buying pressure, and it's still staying, you know, to the upside here. Okay, and as far as like money flow, let's look at money flow real quick. Money flow on Ethereum, not the greatest. It's still in the negative here. Okay. So this would lead me to believe that, you know, Ethereum money should be leaving Ethereum and bringing the price down, but you're not getting that here in the daily time frame, mainly because momentum is going up. Momentum is going up. And yeah, I mean, you would think Ethereum would roll over, okay, with money flow still being a negative, but we're steadily increasing here, okay, we're steadily increasing here. And if money flow right here, this magenta red stuff here, if this magenta red stuff continues climbing back up to higher levels here, then you're going to see more money pour into Ethereum. You're going to see higher prices for Ethereum here, okay? If the bears want to see things get worse for Ethereum, then they need to knock the price of Ethereum down and actually see money flow go into lower levels here, which it's not, okay? So money flow is trying to creep back up again. That's why you're seeing Ethereum go up to higher prices here. Alright, let me just check and see. We got Black Room Group in the chat here. He says, hey Damien, any thoughts on Bitcoin 3-day chart, head and shoulder retest? We actually looked at the 3-day chart for Bitcoin at the beginning of this live stream. You said you see a head and shoulder pattern here. Let me just look at Bitcoin real quick since you mentioned that. On the 3-day chart. You said head and shoulders and a neckline retest. Are you talking about a head and shoulder or an inverted head and shoulder? Because I don't see a head and shoulder pattern here on the 3-day chart. Yeah, I'm a little bit curious. Are you talking about if I zoom out? Because I've seen some people look at Bitcoin like that. Let me go to a different Bitcoin chart so it's not, I don't have all these red lines and stuff like that clogging up the chart here. Are you talking about this head and shoulder where you got like a left shoulder, a head, and then possibly a right shoulder maybe forming here? Or maybe this was the right shoulder and this was the left shoulder and this is the head. So, and then maybe we get a retest off this trend line. This trend line that Bitcoin's been in for like multiple years now. Let's see, where's that trend line hanging out at? That's it. Oh, 88K. 87, 88K. Yeah, maybe we might get something like that where, you know, Bitcoin creates higher lows, higher highs, gets up to like 84, 87K, and then we get rejected in prices. That's an idea. So, I mean, that's something that we will just try to pay attention to. We'll be on the lookout for that. I know there's so many people looking at Bitcoin in so many different ways here. I think Bitcoin is going to continue climbing up to higher prices here. But we are bumping up on resistance between 75 and 78K. So that's a resistance zone that we got to punch through. And if we don't punch through, then we're going to roll over and go to lower prices here on Bitcoin if we're not able to punch through. Maybe we might get that punch through later on tonight. Maybe we might get it tomorrow. But if Bitcoin doesn't start, you know, punishing the bears and the shorts here, the bears and the shorts, they're going to start adding to their positions here at like 74, 75K. And then Bitcoin gets rolled over, right? All it takes is someone to give up on the idea of Bitcoin going 80K and one of these whales, you know, dumping on everybody else here. And then you'll see Bitcoin back below 70K again. We have a guy here saying, what is the yellow thing called? A trend line? Yeah, this is just a trend line, this yellow line here. It's a trend that I measured, you know, Bitcoin going all the way back to like November of last year. A trend line, you should have at least a couple of touches or 2 or 3 touches. You got a touch here on August of 2024. And then you got a touch here. Actually, I probably need to redraw this trend line here. Or maybe there might have been some touches on the daily time frame here, but I can see that there's not that many touches here on the 3-day. I go back to the daily chart. I'm pretty sure there's more touches on that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably redraw this trend line here, but that is a trend line there that I probably need to redraw. I'm not sure why I had it left this way here, but I want to see more touches on it, to be honest with you, in order for it to count as a trend line. But yeah, let's move on from Bitcoin. We got to take a look at Poet and then XLM and then Dash. And I believe I got the energy to do a 3-hour live stream here for you guys. Let's see. Oh, the Poet's not a crypto. That's just a regular stock. Yeah. So we're looking at Poet Technologies. It's a stock that you can find on the NASDAQ exchange. Currently trading at $6.91. And Poet kind of looks almost similar to Iran, where you know, some of its best days here in October, November of last year. You see this thing get as high as $9.41, then make a lower high here on January 20th at $9.14. And what I'm worried about Poet now is this another lower high here at $8.27 that you did here on March 12th? Because if that is a lower high, right, then you're probably gonna possibly head down to low prices, and you're not creating a bullish case here by having lower highs here. I'll tell you that. Okay. You are still sticking to the idea of doing higher lows though. You got a low here on November 21st at 387, and another higher low here at 513. As long as you don't go lower than 513, you're still making the case for higher lows here on Poet. So the bulls can be somewhat bullish as long as we're still making higher lows here. However, you can't be overly bullish because you're making lower highs. Okay. And what is this kind of creating? This is kind of creating almost like a possible, like a symmetrical triangle or a pennant here. For my trend line guy, let me see if I can try to draw a trend line for you here. And I'll draw another trend line connecting the higher lows. So you got something like this going on here for Poet, okay? Just showing you you're in a pennant or a symmetrical triangle. The bulls aren't able to push us to higher highs here, but the bears aren't able to push us down to lower lows. You're making higher lows here while making lower highs. And all this is consolidation. All of this is just showing, it's just pointing out the obvious that we're consolidating right now here on Poet. And we're probably not going to get resolution on the consolidation pattern until June, later on this year, the end of the middle of June here. Okay. However, we could just continue to go sideways and consolidate. That's always a possibility here. But you would think there should be some resolution here in May and June of this year, where we're going to have to make a decision. Are we going to go up, or are we going to go down? Or are we just going to continue frustrating the crap out of everybody? Okay. Because we came into this pattern from below, and we're just consolidating and just staying in this range, I would think that we would break out to the upside because we came from below. Usually stocks and most assets go up and to the right. Okay, so if you're already coming down from below and you went up and to the right, and now you're just going to the right a little bit longer than you would go up, then yeah, I think the next move should be up here on Poet out of the symmetrical triangle. But for now, you could just play the symmetrical triangle, right? You just play it. When you get to the top of the triangle, which you already did a couple of days ago, then you should sell. And then when should you buy? Well, you're going to be looking for some buys when you get to the bottom of this symmetrical triangle, when you get to the bottom of this uptrend line here, okay? And that's somewhere like near 650 to like 580. I already did a Fibonacci. I'm getting these numbers off the Fibonacci, but anywhere between like 580 to like 650 is where I would try to buy some more Poet, and then take some profit when you get up to like $8 here, or a little bit below $8, like 770 or 780, somewhere around there. And then you can just do this, right? I mean, you might see something like this, where yeah, you come down, you buy low, then you bounce up, and then you sell high, and then you come back down again, you buy low again, and you come back up, you sell high. But here, you're gonna get like here, when it does something like this, it gets to be to a point where it's not worth trading anymore. and you're gonna have to pick a decision here. Are you still bullish on this asset? Do you think it's gonna break out to the upside, or are you bearish and do you think it's gonna break down to the downside? I think for the stock market, guys, you can't really trade futures on a particular stock. But what you could do is you could do call options where you could try to take some puts and bet that this thing's gonna go down to lower prices here. So you might want to buy some puts when you get to the top of this symmetrical triangle here. Okay. And then also you could buy the stock when you get to the bottom of the symmetrical triangle, and maybe even take some call options, which would be betting that this thing is gonna go higher prices here. Okay. Yeah, when you get to this point, you might want to entertain the idea of doing some options trading, where you can like enter a put at the highest price you can get, and then try to, you know, enter a call option at the lowest price you can get, and then it's gonna either go one way or the other. Okay. Or maybe it just goes sideways, and then if it goes sideways, then your call options, your put options are gonna expire worthless because you're not gonna actually make any money unless this thing actually picks a direction to go. Yeah, I think this is what you're looking for Poet, right? You're gonna get consolidation until you're not consolidating anymore. But who knows? You know, this thing could break out before it gets to this point. It could break out in the next couple of weeks, and then maybe it breaks out like somewhere over here. Okay, or maybe it breaks down in the next couple of days, where we go down and we just keep on going down. Okay, but yeah, this is just an idea. It doesn't mean that it's gonna actually play out that way. But I hope I was able to give you some ideas here as to, like, you know, what you could do with your call options, put options here, if you want to try to play that for a trade against Poet. See, we got Darren in here. Darren says he loves the music. Thank you, Darren, for letting me know, giving me that feedback. Appreciate that. We got Cameron in the chat. Cameron says, sideways moment, need to pump up. And Cameron says, good day, crypto investors. Good day to you as well, Cameron. Good to see you in the chat. Alright. Moving on from Poet, we'll take a look at XLM and then Dash. And then Cameron, do you have any crypto you're trading right now that you want me to take a look at? Maybe I could copy one of your trades. I am looking to see if I can get into a trade at some point here. But I feel like I've done so well trading Bitcoin in the past few days here. I should just be happy with what I've done already, and then maybe you know, just be a little bit more patient and wait for another A+ trade to come my way. All right, Stellar Lumens, right? Well, yeah, we're looking at Stellar Lumens now. XLM currently trading at 17.5 cents, up 3.3% today. And Stellar has had, you know, a pretty good rally here. Every day has been in the green ever since March 9th. This is like kind of like, this is unexpected. This doesn't happen all the time. You would expect a red day to show up at some point here. But right now you're getting all green days, all green candles here. I want to see XLM get above this last candlewick high here at 18.5 cents here. I think after that, if we can push past that, then there's going to be balls to the walls to higher prices here for Stellar Lumens. And maybe we can probably get up to like the 20-cent area, where we did some sideways trading here back in December and January. Oh, man. But damn, Stellar Lumens had so much potential. It was looking really good in July of last year, and then it just bled off and died on us. I'm getting rid of this previous chart work here. I mean, it looks like just like every other altcoin here, just bleeding off into the abyss, slowly dying and bleeding down the lower prices here. But I do like the fact that it looks like Stellar Lumens is trying to stay above 14.5 cents. 0.147 pennies to be exact. That I'm going to mark on the chart right now. Don't go lower than that level, okay? Or else it could be game over for Stellar Lumens. Kind of want to see what the moving averages are doing. Is there any moving averages that can provide resistance? Looks like we got a 50-day moving average right above us at 19.5 cents. I did say like 19 and a half, like I did say 20 cents, right? 20 cents is where I could see this being an issue for XLM. 19 and a half cents is where that green line, that 50-day moving average is sitting at right now. That could knock you back down to lower prices here. The 100-day moving average, that blue line could knock you down to lower prices here. You know, so that's if you're a moving average guy. If you like using the moving average here, you plan to take some profit at that 50-day moving average and the 100-day moving average. I don't know if we're ever going to get back up to that 200-day moving average anytime soon here. That 200-day moving average, this red line that's curving down now, sitting at 25 cents. I think you'd be lucky to try to take profit at 25 cents there for XLM. Oh, that's right, Many Ghosts. I did not forget about you. We gotta look at grass. We'll look at grass before we look at Dash. How about that? We'll look at grass literally on the next one after XLM here. Cameron said he's in a trade. He's trading Hyper, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Tau, and XRP. Oh my god. Sometimes I do that every now and then, Cameron, where I'll get into like 4 or 5 trades myself, but I like to just stick to, like these days, I just like to stick to like 1 or 2 assets. I've been trading like oil and Bitcoin, and that's been good enough for me. And you can make money and lose money in both assets, so you don't need to like have like 5 or 6 ways to lose money. I joke. But like, yeah, if you're able to get into one good trade and you're able to stay in it, and then you're able to get into another good trade and stay in it, and then be able to get into another good trade and stay in it, then you can just continue adding to your portfolio of good trades that you're able to stay in at, and you'll be all right. You know, you can do like 5 or 6 trades as long as they're all in the green, right? But if you had like 5 or 6 trades and you were losing on all those trades, then I'd be like, yo, what are you doing? Do you need to find multiple assets to lose money in? And I joke. I know you're a good trader, Cameron. But I know for the other traders out there who are new to trading and investing, I advocate for them to just get good at 1 asset or 2 assets. And then once they get good at 1 or 2 assets, then they could try to maybe trade 3 or 4 in one day. But I think once you start trading multiple assets, like 3 or 4 trades, you start getting into the realm of possibly overtrading. You know, I myself, I like to stick to like 2 or 3 trades a day, and if I get stopped out 3 times, especially if it's just getting stopped out on 1 asset 3 times in a row, then I know what I'm doing is completely wrong, and the market's not working with me, it's working against me, and I probably need to stop trading. Either stop trading altogether that day, or stop trading that particular asset, or, you know, probably stop trading that particular asset, because I feel like if I was to flip and be like, all right, maybe shorting it's not working, maybe I should try to long, that's when you try to enter a long, and then the thing actually starts dropping down on your long, and then you're like, oh man, I was wrong for longing and shorting on the same asset the same day. So like, just to avoid over trading, I'll just like stick to like 1 or 2 trades on just 1 or 2 assets, and that's it. And if I was wrong, I was wrong. Then I just wait for later on that day, or I wait for the next day to try again. But that's me going on a little rant there, going off on a tangent. Andrew wants me to take a look at Say. Okay, we'll take a look at Say. Let me just finish up here on Stellar Lumens. I gave upside targets here. I think you can use your moving averages above you at 19.5 cents, and an 100-day moving average at 22 cents. And I think you should probably be taking profits and maybe entertain the idea of maybe entering a short if you're inclined to do that. And then downside targets, I think 14.5 cents. You gotta stay above that, or else it'll be game over for Stellar Lumens. And come back to me if we ever do get down to 14.5 cents, and then maybe I can look for like what the prices might be for levels to the downside below 14.5 cents. But I think 14.5 cents is your support for Stellar Lumens until it's no longer going to act as support. All right, moving on from there, let's go take a look at grass for Matty Ghosts. And Medigos wants to take a look at the monad as well. I'll go ahead and write that down. Okay. So we gotta look at grass, and then we gotta look at dash after that, and then say and monad after that. And Joe Trader is making a statement here. He says that XRP will dump to 50 cents. Samuel Lito, we actually looked at Ethereum earlier on the live stream today. Upside target is $2,500 for Ethereum. It's going to be a tough target for it to get past. It's going to be a lot of resistance at $2,500. And then downside, you know, Ethereum could drop down $1,800 and get support there. Alright, looking at grass, currently trading at 43 cents, up 16% today. Congratulations to grass, but I would try to entertain the idea of definitely taking some profit here. Not financial advice, but take some profit now that you're above the 200-day moving average. This is better than a lot of assets out there, even better than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's not above its 200-day moving average, I can tell you that. There's one or two ways this could play out, okay? I think you either are going to just continue and go exponentially up to higher prices and then fall back down to 200-day moving average. It could be something like that, right? Or the 200-day moving average gets respected right now, and yeah, you're going to go sideways here. Maybe flag out a little bit before you go up to higher prices on grass. So I would be taking profit now that you hit the 200-day moving average. You don't have to take 100% profit. You could take partial profits, and then maybe this thing does climb up to higher prices and goes exponential going into tomorrow and later on this week. But if it's not going exponential, then guess what? It's probably going to go sideways and then bleed off to lower prices here. So you can thank yourself by selling now something at, you know, at 43 cents here. Because if we do start flagging out to the downside, this thing could, you know, maybe drop down to like 38 cents before we start going back up to higher prices again. All right, so that's something to just consider. You know, we could flag out here. And while we're flagging out, we'll probably be bouncing, you know, this 200-day moving average. I don't know if you see this red line. This red line is kind of slicing right below this green candle now. As we start consolidating, we'll probably bounce off the 200-day moving average a couple of times as support, and then maybe we go up, or maybe we bounce on the 200-day moving average, and then we lose the 200-day moving average and we come down. Okay, but I think I'm expecting grass to consolidate and go sideways from what I'm seeing on the chart right now. Unless we're going to continue the exponential move up to higher prices. Now, let's see. Are we going to go exponential? I can't say for sure if we're going to go exponential, but let's see what things looking like here on money flow. Money flow is increasing, and you're starting to get some green here on the money flow, and you got a green buy down here today. So, I mean, yeah, you could go exponential. You could go exponential. But why not, you know, take some profits now? Right? Because if this thing does go exponential, right? Let me just get rid of this now, and we'll just redraw this again. But if we go exponential and you don't take profit now, right? And we go up and go here. Maybe you're lucky and you take profit at 55 cents. And this thing does a blow off top and then comes right back down to the 200-day moving average. I guess you could take some profit if we come right back down to the 200-day moving average. But why not take profit now here? Take some profit here. And then take more profit here, okay? Because you're locking in those profits. If you don't take profit here, and you think we're going exponential, and you don't take any profit at all, right? What if we do this? What if we just consolidate, we do a bull flag, we flag down a little bit? You're gonna be like, oh man, I could have took profit right here, but now here we are back at 36 cents, and I haven't sold anything yet. And if you still haven't sold anything yet, and then we drop down, you're gonna be like dropping F-bombs, like, oh my god, I could have sold that 200-day moving average, but I didn't. So I think it's prudent to take some profits now here at the 200-day moving average, and then if we do flag down then at least you could say, hey, I did the right and prudent thing and sold at the 200-day moving average, and then and then we came down a little bit lower and I could sell again. All right, before we drop like a rock. If we do drop like a rock. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. Matty Go says he is shorting grass at the 200-day at 0.5. 0.50s. Okay. Well, good luck with you on the short. Is there a reason why you took that short? What was your valid reasons for getting into a short? Did you see something on like the MACD indicator, the money flow indicator on a smaller time frame or a bigger time frame? Just out of curiosity. Just not saying that you're not. I'm not saying you're doing the right or the wrong thing. I'm just curious, like, because I see here on the daily time frame that I believe grass could go to higher prices because of the money flow starting to go in the green. You got a green buy down here on the daily time frame, and the MACD indicator looks fine. I don't see anything here that says that we're going to drop down on grass right now. So I'm just curious. I'm assuming it's a short-term play. You're just probably hedging against your long. I'm assuming. You said it's overbought for grass. Yeah, and I'm assuming you're talking about the RSI indicator here. Okay, yeah, we didn't even look at the RSI, but the RSI is overbought. Yeah, at 77. You're above 70. 70 is any asset that's above 70 on the RSI is considered overbought. Well, you can stay overbought. That's the problem with these indicators here is that you could actually stay overbought and continue going to higher prices. But I get it. It's an idea. You're just playing around with an idea. Could be a good idea to short it. Could be a bad idea to short it. If it's a bad idea, your stop loss will prevent you from losing too much money on the bad idea. And if it's a good idea, well, you're going to be making profit, and then you'll be probably showing your gains on the Meet Damien Discord. All right. Okay. Let's move on from grass. We're gonna take a look at Dash now. Dash the crypto, right? Not Dash DoorDash, right? We're not looking at DoorDash. We're looking at Dash crypto. Unless you want me to take a look at DoorDash, the stock. We got some guy here on TikTok like talking smack. I don't know why he's talking smack. He's over here trying to like pick fights with people, I guess, or he's saying like really aggressive and kind of stupid stuff. To be honest with you, I'm not going to block or mute him. I just think it's funny. He's not really talking about me. He's actually talking about your short, Matty Ghost. But I think it's comical. Let's see. We are looking at not DoorDash. We're looking at Dash, currently trading at $36.07, up 6.6% today. Dash getting above the 21 EMA. That's good to see. That white line could have acted as resistance, but it didn't. It has acted as resistance previously before, last couple of months here. So good to see that, right? Finally, the 21 EMA is low enough where we can jump over that bar, right? The bar has been lowered low enough for us to actually get above it. I want to stay above this 21 EMA, and then upside targets could possibly be the other moving averages, the upside. We got the 50-day moving average at $43, and we got the 200-day moving average at $45. I think you could take some profit at the area there. It's just an idea, but take some profit at 43 and 45. Don't get too greedy. But man, these cryptos, huh? These cryptos are definitely, they got beaten down. I've seen some of their best days started was like, what was it, like November 2025? Yeah, Dash was doing really good in November. I mean, yeah, we were talking about Dash back in November of last year. And then even then, it kind of made another stint here in January, about a couple of months ago. But damn, Dash has been at higher prices back in like 2021. Oh boy, will we ever see those levels again? I don't know. I don't know, but what I do know is that this asset is still in bear market territory. You're below the 200-day moving average, and you're below most of the moving averages except for the 21 EMA. Now, you can look at this with rose-colored glasses and be like, well, we got a lot of room to go to catch up those moving averages. You can make some money on the way up, right? Make some money on the way up until we get rejected at the 50 and the 200. And if we were to try to long now and carry this thing up to the 200-day moving average, you'd be up about like 25%. You know, it's a pretty decent gain. Yeah. I'd be looking at those moving averages from now. I haven't thrown on the VRVP indicator for a while. Let's see what the VRVP has to say for levels to look for. This is the VRVP indicator off on the right. It shows you where all the buying and selling has been done at certain levels here. And the majority of the buying and selling looks like it occurred at this blue line at $37. That could be where Dash gets initially rejected. Unless it's going to push past that and try to push up the higher prices. And if it does push up the higher prices, you got high volume here, right where that 2-day moving average is at, 45 bucks. So you could take some profit if you're in a day trade at 37, 38 bucks here. And then if you're in a swing trade long and you're not doing any leverage trading, but you're just like spot bag holding it, I would try to take some profits at 45 bucks here for Dash. Downside, I didn't talk about downside, but you got support here at this value area low, this white line at $30.50. That's pretty much it for Dash. Moving on from Dash, let's take a look at Say, and then we gotta take a look at Monad. Get rid of this previous chart work here. Say, currently trading at, what do we gonna call this? 0.0695 here. Nice number. It got the 69 in it. I like that. Let's see, Dash. Coming up to the 21 EMA. That's good to see. Kind of looks similar to, to Dash, right? Got a lot of room to the upside if you can get up to that 50-day moving average at 9.5 pennies. How much of a percentage gain is that? About a 40% gain? Even better than Dash. Got a lot of room to the upside if you're able to go up to the upside here on Say. Just trying to get back up to that 50-day moving average. But I think if you get up to that 50-day moving average, you know, take some profit. Not financial advice, but take some profit and maybe entertain the idea of trying to short it at that 50-day moving average. Because have we gone to that 50-day moving average and stayed above it at all? When's the last time we actually been at that 50-day moving average? Go all the way back to October of last year. And then when we were above it, we were clearly above it in September of last year. This 50-day movement average, we have not seen this in a long, long time. Over like the last 6 months, you have not been above the 50-day moving average. So I think if you get to the 50-day moving average, for sure, entertain the idea of taking some profit and maybe even entering short. J.O.Ren wants me to take a look at Polkadot. And thank you for sending me the donut here on TikTok. Alright, so I'm going to go write that down. We got to take a look at the dot. Alright, I got you. I wrote it down. Luzami, is that a request for Ugor? I don't even know what Ugor is. Is that a stock or a crypto? And is that a request? Let's see, let's see. Cameron's responding to somebody here on TikTok about his entries. All right, let's see. D4 Nee says, what indicators do I use? I use a bunch of indicators here. Right now, what's showing on the chart is I'm using the moving averages right now. You got the 21, the 50, the 100, and the 200-day moving average here. I also use other indicators below, which I have it hidden right now, but I got the MACD indicator right here. And then I got DeluxeAlgo indicator. This is like a money flow market cipher B indicator. And then what else? I got the RSI. I use this to spot any bullish or bearish divergences. If I see something showing up in the chart, I like to confirm that there's some divergence going on. I like using the RSI indicator to find out those the divergences are. Let's see. Is there any bullish divergence going on right now for say? Possibly. Look at this. You're obviously making lower lows here on the price. I think I might have to get rid of something here. Hide that. Yeah. All right. So there we go. So you obviously making lower lows here on the price to get to these low prices that you're on for say. However, look at this. You're making higher lows here on the RSI. Does anybody here know what that is? I'm pretty sure my my experienced traders and investors, I know Cameron knows what that is. I'm pretty sure everybody else knows what that is. So for those who don't know, this is bullish divergence. You're making lower lows on the price and you're making higher lows here on the RSI. It shows that what this is showing is that there are buyers stepping up to the plate. They like the prices where they're at right now. And they're preventing the price from going down steeper than what it's done in the past, where we just drop like a rock. You can see, like, you know, we were dropping like a rock here on say, but then ever since we hit this low here, it hasn't really been a drop on like a rock. We still made lower lows, but it's not as steep as it was like a couple of months ago. So buyers are coming in, and this is like the beginning of trying to bottom out here. Okay. The next thing I want to see for say is I want to see either a higher low or a double bottom where we don't make a lower low. If we do not make a lower low, then guess what? This was the bottom. That was the bottom right there on March 9th. However, if you do make a lower low, then guess what? Yeah, it's still trying to bottom out. It's still trying to find a bottom. So this is the beginning of bottoming out, making a lower low on price while making a higher low here on the RSI. That's bullish divergent. I want to see either a higher low or even the same low, but don't go lower than what you did here on March 9th. Don't go lower than 6 cents here. And I think you'll be alright to go to higher prices here per se. And those higher prices, I think, we got 9.5 cents, 0.096 pennies to be exact, is where that 50-day moving average is. Now, granted, this 50-day moving average is going to continue going down while the price is trying to creep its way back up to higher prices. And this, 50-day moving average might be at like 9 cents by the time the price actually climbs up and gets to where that 50-day moving average is. So maybe 9 cents will be where it actually get rejected and go down to lower prices if we're going to get rejected off this 50-day moving average. Thank you, Andu, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. So we just looked at say. We got to take a look at a monad, and then we got to take a look at dot. And then TN7 wants to take a look at Bitcoin. We looked at Bitcoin earlier, but we can look at it again for you. I'll probably look at. Usually, I look at Bitcoin on the higher time frames in the beginning of the live stream, and then I have someone that says, "Hey, let's look at Bitcoin," and then the second time I look at Bitcoin, I'll look at it in the lower time frame. So maybe I'll look at Bitcoin at like the 4-hour and the 1 hour and maybe the 15 minutes, see what Bitcoin is actually doing, for the day traders out there. All right, moving on from say, let's take a look at the monad. What is Monad doing? Monad currently trading at 2.5 cents, up 4.69% today. Let's see, you're kind of coming up on the previous candlewick resistance here. Looks like we got up to 2.5 cents on Valentine's Day. So mark that on there, like we're almost there, where we could get rejected maybe on Monad. Don't really have any much moving averages to go with, because it looks like here on Monad you haven't been on. We're looking at data. This data is coming off a Coinbase exchange. We haven't really been trading on Coinbase for that long. It started trading on November of last year. So all I got is a 21 and a 50-day moving average. I'm wondering if I could find Monad on another exchange that has more data. Maybe a Monad on MEXC. No, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing for the most part. Okay. So you can just look at previous candlewick resistance here at the 2.5 cents. I think that's going to be a problem until it's no longer a problem. Then you got a previous high here, which was a lower high here at the 3 cents. Let me go ahead and throw that VRVP indicator, see what that shows. VRVP indicator is showing you got a high volume node and point of control here at 0.028 pennies. So maybe not exactly 3 cents, but 0.028 pennies is probably where it's going to be tough for Monad to go higher than that. That is your upside target for now. Downside, I mean, we got the 21 EMA, the 50-day that should act as support at 0.021 pennies. But if that doesn't act as support, you got the value area low at 0.018 pennies. If that doesn't act as support, then yeah, we're probably going to go down to lower. I don't know why I marked this down. I think I did like a Fibonacci extension to the downside, and I think it showed that a penny and a half, or 0.014 pennies, was an area to look out below if we would continue being bearish here on Monad, but we didn't actually go down to that level. So I don't know if I need that still in the chart here. I'm going to get rid of this for now. But yeah, that's I mean, you got your value area right here. You got your value area low, your point of control, and your value area high. Stay above 0.018 pennies for Monad. Take some profit at 0.028, 0.029, where your point of control is at. Take more profit at value area high at 0.033 pennies. And then maybe entertain the idea of trying to short it there. You know, because you could get rejected and come down. But it's showing that value area high at 0.033 pennies. Good idea to take some profit. Might even be a good idea to take out a short. All right, we got Eastern WEEX in the chat here. Good to see you. Are we gonna do are we still good for our meeting later on tonight? I believe that's the guy from WEEX that I work with. He says, by the way, you're moving again. Oh, Bitcoin's moving again. Yeah, we gotta take a look at Bitcoin again. What is it right now? 74,500. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about maybe taking a short on Bitcoin when it hits 75K. If it hits that later on tonight, I want to just take a short, especially if it's in the late night hours for America, because you know, when Americans go to sleep, I feel like when the Americans go to bed and they're not clicking the buy button, it takes away a lot of buying pressure out of Bitcoin. And we know the Americans, they have a lot of money to spend on Bitcoin, and if they're not spending money because they're sleeping, that could be a good time to enter a short if you want to enter a short for a day trade. Doesn't mean that you should stay in the short forever, but it's like, it's tough for the price of Bitcoin to continue going up when the Americans go to sleep. They're not clicking the buy button. Unless Asia picks up, you know, where the Americans left off, and then if the Asians start buying Bitcoin, then yeah, you'll see Bitcoin pumping all throughout the night. And then of course after that, then we got to see if the Europeans are going to take the reins and continue pumping the price of Bitcoin up. But yeah, I think when the Americans usually go to bed, which is probably about like 5 hours from now, 6 hours from now, most of them will be going to bed. Might be the time to see where Bitcoin's at, and then maybe a short makes sense. And if you're in a long, make sure you take profit before the Americans go to bed. If they go to bed and they're not buying Bitcoin, it's gonna be hard for Bitcoin to go to higher prices. At least that's what I've seen. You know, since I've been trading and investing in Bitcoin and crypto, I noticed that little bit of an effect there. When the New York session ends and the New Yorkers go to bed, it's usually hard for Bitcoin to go to higher prices unless the Asian market's going to take over and keep pushing it up. All right, so that's a little spiel there about Bitcoin and Americans and trying to time the markets if you're able to do so. Let's look at take a look at Polkadot, and then we'll actually look at Bitcoin one more time here. And I hope you guys got some more requests, because I do plan on being live for at least another hour, you know. If not, I'll just take a break, you know. I don't have to keep on talking. We can jam out to some music. And we'll just listen to the music while I have the charts up here for you to look at. Let's see. We're looking at Polkadot, currently trading at $1.64. Up 14% today, so having a pretty decent day. Congratulations, Polkadot, for doing that. I got the VRVP indicator here. Why not? You can see that we have a point of control below us at $1.50. That blue line right there. I don't know if you're able to see it, but that blue line right there is your point of control. Okay. If we do come back down there, I would expect that to act as support now, because it's below us. And going up to higher prices here, we do got some volume here at like $1.86. Anywhere between like $1.80 to $1.88 is a high volume node here. And then we got another high volume node here at $2.12. But I think you can still use the moving averages. For those who aren't using the VRVP indicator, most traders don't use the VRVP indicator. I think they should. It's a very powerful indicator here. But for the guys who are, you know, just using moving averages, you can do that, right? You just plan to take profit at $1.73, which is where that 50-day moving average is sitting at. And then you can take some more profit at that 100-day moving average at $2.05. I think that's where I'll be looking for taking profit on Polkadot. $1.73 and then $2.05. Let's see, Polkadot was in a descending channel for like the longest time here. I think are we still in that descending channel? Let me just extend this out, see if I can extend it out some more. Ooh, it looks like we actually came out of the descending channel today. Wow, that's good. Maybe Polkadot does have some brighter days ahead of it in the near term here, in the next week or two. Let's see, what is the momentum indicator showing here for Polkadot? Let's see what the MACD is doing. Yeah, a little bit of a selling pressure going on here, but now you're getting buying pressure. Alright, so you gotta look at like a MACD crossover to the downside, kind of like a fake out, and then the MACD crossover to the upside. And showing that maybe Polkadot does want to go up to higher prices here. What is money flow looking like? Got a green buy dot that came in today. Makes sense. You're up 14%. And money flow, which has been negative, still negative, is starting to curve up. So there could be a little bit of hope to go to higher prices here. But man, money flow has been negative ever since November of last year. So you already had, you know, a beaten down crypto, beating down asset, pushing down the lower prices here. Maybe it's time for us to actually get a little bit of a relief rally going on here for Polkadot. But I think, yeah, upside target. You're almost coming up on the upside target at $1.73 and then 205. I'd be playing the moving averages for now. You could try doing VRVP using that VRVP indicator here off to the right. And you got a high volume node here at $2.14, which is right where that 100-day moving average is at. And then we did say, you know, between like $1.80 to $1.88 is where this other high volume node level is at. And that's probably where Polkadot, if it pushes past that 50-day moving average, it's probably going to get rejected near $1.80 initially. Maybe make a higher low to go to higher prices, but I would expect, you know, a lot of resistance between like $1.73 up to like $1.88. That's where I'd be taking profit on Polkadot. Striker wants to look at Chainlink. I see you, Striker. Alright, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. Because we had some people talking about Bitcoin. I want to take a look at Bitcoin on the smaller time frames for the day traders out there. And then I'll take a look at Chainlink for you. Let me just quickly grab. I gotta grab like I was sick last week. Still try to do as many live streams as I possibly could. Try to show up to you guys, even though I was sick. I am feeling better this week, but I still got a little bit of a runny nose. But I definitely got more energy than I did last week, I'll tell you that. Ugh. Yeah, okay. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. And then we'll take a look at Chainlink. Bitcoin currently trading at 74,500. It actually got up to like 74,000, almost 74,800 here on Coinbase Exchange. Just a quick review. I think when Bitcoin comes with the 75, the 78K could be a problem area for Bitcoin. You can see that there is some high volume here on the VRVP indicator here at the 77, 78K area. You also got a 50-day moving average above you at 80,600. This green line that could act as resistance for Bitcoin. And then we have marked off previous areas of resistance and support at 84,500 and 87,500. Well, let's dip into the 1 hour time frame. See what's going on here in the 1 hour time frame, the day trading time frame that I like to start off with. You see that Bitcoin is very bullish here on the 1 hour time frame. You're above the 200, the 150, and the 21 EMA. You're going up and to the right, up and to the right. But I think 75K could be a problem here for Bitcoin later on tonight. That's why I would try to take a short. See if Bitcoin's going to chill out, stop going up around that price. So I think you know, if you're already in long, I'm not long in Bitcoin right now, but if I was long in Bitcoin, I would be thinking about taking profit at 75K. We're not too far from that area. I was already long in Bitcoin yesterday. I was long in Bitcoin and I took profit at 74K last night. So we're basically at the, you know, about $500 higher than where I sold Bitcoin yesterday. Not really too much, right? For me to, there hasn't really been that much upside since then. But I am interested now in maybe shorting Bitcoin, but I don't think we're ready to short it just yet. Let's see what the momentum indicators are showing here. Is Bitcoin going to chill out, or are we going to continue going up to higher prices? So looking at the MEXC indicator here. There was some selling pressure this afternoon, and now you're starting to get buying pressure here. And that's causing the MEXC crossover to the upside here in the 1 hour time frame. So I think Bitcoin is going to probably go up to higher prices. We got the daily candle close I believe at like 8 p.m. Let me see the daily chart here. How much more time we got? 2 more hours left until Bitcoin. 2 hours and 8 minutes left before Bitcoin daily candle closes here. And I think even then we might get a push up to like 75k or higher. So I don't know. Does it make sense to enter a long on Bitcoin? Let's go back in the 1 hour time frame. If I wanted to long Bitcoin, right, I would probably wait until we come down to the 21 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. That's sitting at like 73,600. That's a better area to take a long, and then also game plan a tight stop loss versus trying to long it right now. Because you could long it right now, and then Bitcoin comes down to the 21 EMA. You're like, fuck. You're like, damn it. That's about a 1,000-point move to the downside if it comes right down to that 21 EMA. So I would not be interested in long in Bitcoin right now. Congratulations to those who are long in Bitcoin right now. I was doing that yesterday. Today I decided I'm looking for trades to get into, but I'm not gonna force a trade if I don't see a trade. So I'd rather just wait until we get up to like 75, 76k and then enter a short, which I think is gonna happen later on tonight. Yeah, I am doing a 3-hour stream here Eastern, or trying to do a 3-hour stream. Then I'll have a little bit of a short break, and then we'll do our video conference call after that. We gotta take a look at Chainlink after we look at Bitcoin here. So I think Bitcoin is on its way up to higher prices here. Let's go into the 50-minute time frame. Is anything different here on the 50-minute time frame? Still overly bullish here. You're above all the movement averages on the 15-minute time frame. MACD indicator showing green. Okay, so maybe it does want to go to higher prices right now. And then money flow. Money flow is also in the green. Green buy dot here. Yeah, I think Bitcoin wants to go up, guys. Even in the next hour or two, and then maybe later on tonight. Back to the 1 hour time frame. Look at the money flow again on the 1 hour. Green buy dot and still in the green. Yeah. So yeah, I think Bitcoin wants to go higher prices. Believe it or not. Alright. And we're near the highs for the day. We're only like what, $200 away from being near the high for the day. And we did that what, just now? In this hour? So when did we hit? We hit it like about 15 minutes ago. 74,000, almost $74,800 there on Coinbase. Yeah, so I think Bitcoin does want to go up. I'm seeing a lot of signs pointing up rather than down. Let's move on from here. We'll take a look at Chainlink. Chainlink daily time frame. Look at the bigger picture view. Unless you want me to look at the day trading time frames. If you want me to look at the smaller time frames, let me know. But I'm gonna assume that we're just looking at the big picture here for Chainlink, and we're just trading spot bags, not day trading it. Chainlink currently trading at $10 right now, $10.01, up 5.4% today. And upside target, if you're using the moving averages here, 50-day moving average is sitting at $11.08 right here. Then you get the 100-day moving average above that at $12.43. Those are your targets, the upside. For you spot trading, swing trading guys here, you're looking for 11.08 and 12.43. Those moving averages. But man, have we ever been? I mean, you haven't been at the 50-day moving average since October 10th. You lost it. Okay, so if we do get to that 50-day moving average, it could be. I would expect a lot of reactions over there. I would expect some resistance at that green line, 11.08. You just want me to give you the short-term outlook for spot? I mean, for Chainlink using just your spot bags? Yeah, I mean, you are getting a bunch of green days here, and so did Bitcoin. Bitcoin got a bunch of green days here, so you're really pushing your luck here on going to higher prices, but doesn't mean that you can't. But I think, you know, 1108, it's only $1 away. It'll be up another 10% from where you are right now. Let me just measure that out real quick here. But where we are right here to like that green line, 11% move up in price here for Chainlink. And you got the momentum to do it. How are things looking like here on the MACD indicator? Looks fine. It looks fine. Looks like you're fine to go up to higher prices here on Chainlink. I wouldn't really worry about Chainlink going to lower prices unless this blue line starts curving down. And then, you know, if that blue line curves down and crosses the orange line to the downside, then yeah, then things could be looking bad for Chainlink. But you're not seeing that. Last time you had the blue line curving down was like here in January, in the middle of January, on January 17th. And then you got that MACD crossover to the downside, and then you got all the selling pressure showing up here in February. Okay, you're not getting that right now here on Chainlink, so I think you're good to go to higher prices, at least on the MACD indicator here. And then let's see if anything on the money flow indicator is showing us, you know, that bullish. You got a green buy dot that came in on Tuesday of last week, and no red sell dots yet. If it was a red sell dot, then I'd be like, all right, maybe we're about to have a little bit of a correction here on Chainlink, but you're not getting a red sell dot yet. However, you kind of are in overbought territory here. RSI. These are like kind of like RSI lines here. These magenta lines right here are showing you that you could be overbought on Chainlink right now. But still no red sell dot. So I think you'd be cautious and still hold on to your long here on Chainlink. But I feel like Bitcoin is going to try to make a run for 80K. And when it does, that's probably why Chainlink will probably make a run towards $11 here. And then, you know, it could roll over from there and then go down to lower prices. Just like Bitcoin could roll over when it gets to 80K. And then maybe rolls over and goes down to like lower prices, like 50 or 40K. But we take it one day at a time. One day at a time. Premium Mulch wants to take a look at Tau, and then Skyful wants to take a look at Zcash. Man, I thought I was gonna get a little bit of a break here. I just finished up all the requests, and then I get a couple of more requests. I got you guys. You see, I already done some requests here. You see that here on the whiteboard for my YouTube guys. You can see that the whiteboard here. Alright, I'm gonna clear out the whiteboard and make some room for the new requests. Alright, so Zcash and then Tau. Alright, okay. Zcash, let's go. Let's see what Zcash is doing. Zcash currently trading at $282.75, up 23% today. Having a pretty decent day. Double-digit gains, 20%. That's not bad. But we have seen Zcash do better back in November of last year. December, 543. Let me see here. January, nothing really crazy going on here in January. But yeah, Zcash is in a downtrend. Still making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. I think Zcash could possibly climb up though to higher prices here to that 200-day moving average at 308. Get rejected there, and that would still be a lower high you did here on February 14th. So I think you should be considering taking some profit at that 200-day moving average at 308. And if you want to enter a short, maybe you could do that. Okay, we'll see how we handle ourselves when we get to that 200-day moving average. But damn, a lot of move been made already. Like this, once we got past that 21 EMA, we were shot up. Boom, 20%. Let's see, do we have momentum to go up to higher prices here on Zcash? Buying pressures here. Buying pressure started showing up on Sunday, March 8th. About a week ago. So buying pressures shows that we could probably continue going up to higher prices here for Zcash. Money flow, you got a green buy that came in on March 9th. Money flow is steadily increasing. It's negative, but I mean, a lot of cryptos are in the negative, but they've also been going up to higher prices recently. So I like the fact that money flow is curving up. If it continues curving up, maybe you'll see money flow go green. You haven't seen money flow go green for Zcash since the beginning of January, earlier this year, in December of last year, we had money flow in the green. So if money flow goes in the green, then yeah, I think Zcash could definitely for sure go to higher prices. You would probably need to see money flow go in the green in order for you to get above all these moving averages. You got the 50-day at 343 and the 100-day at 377. I would expect more resistance between 340 and 370 here on Zcash. But let's see how we handle ourselves at that 200-day moving average at 308. If this is a problem and we get rejected, then that's it. Like you're still making a lower high. You're still in the downtrend on Zcash. You're probably going to go to low prices. Yeah, I think most of the move has been made today. Hopefully you were able to capture this move. Hopefully you already bought at a lower price and now you can start taking some profits here. Alright, moving on from Zcash, we'll take a look at Tau. Tau currently trading at 278. Not having as great of a day as Zcash. Tau, look at this. You're coming up on that 200-day moving average. So Tau already hit the 200-day moving average. And look, see, if you don't think these moving averages are important, then you know, why did we not go higher than the 200-day moving average and stay above it? We did go above it today, and we went above it yesterday, but we're not able to close above it. The daily candle usually closes about 2 hours from right now. Okay, so we got like 2 more hours left, about an hour and 55 minutes. See that countdown timer right there? You got an hour and 55 minutes left for this candle to close. And if we close below that 200-day moving average, then I think, you know, Tau might actually go down to low prices. I say I think, I don't know. I mean, if we have the momentum to go up to higher prices, then maybe we are going to go up to higher prices here. But we're getting consolidation here near the 200-day moving average. I would expect Tau to do something like this. Since it's already starting to do it right now, I would expect it to like try to play around with the 200-day moving average before you get some resolution and go up to higher prices. Okay. So we're probably going to flag out here on Tau. We're probably going to do a bull flag. Maybe the flag actually goes down before it then goes up. Okay. But I'm expecting sideways trading here for Tau. I'm already expecting that the upside move has been made on Tau. Unless we just, I don't know, out of nowhere we go exponentially up. But you had your chance to try to go exponentially up, but you're not closing above that 200-day moving average. So this 200-day moving average is 5.87 cents. It's a problem until it's no longer a problem. So I think Tau, I don't know if there's any upside move left in it. But let's say there is upside move. How much further could it go? Let me just measure from the swing low to swing high here using the Fibonacci. So we got up to like almost $301 here on Tau. If Tau was to continue going exponentially up, there's a 1272 that says Tau should take a break at 336, or it could, continue going higher than that and go up to the 1618 at 380. So those are upside targets for Tau if it's going to continue going up higher than where it is right now. Downside, now that I drew out this Fibonacci here, I mean, let's look at this. I see some confluence here between the 50-day moving average, this green line at 223, and then this 0.382 retracement at 222. So I think, you know, this should be an area that could act as support for Tau. If we get rejected and then come down in a violent fashion here, if we come down just as fast as we went up, maybe we do go down to 223, 224 and get some support over this area right here. So I think with Tau, you should be thinking about taking profit if you haven't done so already, because we're already at that 200-day moving average and it's acting as resistance right now. And then I'll be looking to try to buy back in again at that 50-day moving average at 223, 224, somewhere in this area. Premium Mulch says you took profits at 290. So much resistance around 295. Yeah, there is definitely resistance because of that 200-day moving average. I'm going to turn the music up a little bit here. I'm actually going to take a break, guys. I'm going to try to get some more ice water for myself. You guys just want to hold on tight. I'll put the be right back here from my YouTube guys here. Where's that be right back? There we go. Intermission. I'll be back. Alright, my YouTube guys. We're coming back on screen again. Oh man, so I usually do 2-hour live streams, but I'm gonna try to go for another hour here for you guys. We went through almost all the requests here. I do want to take a look at the price of oil and the price of gold, see what those are doing. What else? Well, actually, let me just tell you what I plan on doing this week here before I get into those assets there. I am gonna try to do some afternoon streams here because I'm gonna be pretty busy later on this week, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the evening live stream. So tomorrow, I do want to do a live stream from like 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern time if I can, and then I might do the same thing on Wednesday. And I might even do the same thing on Friday. I don't know. I might not even do a live stream on Friday. Let me go ahead and flip the camera over to so my TikTok guys can see me here. Hey guys, this is me, Damien. I'm here. You can see like there's a TV in the background. Yep. I got my live stream in the background there. But yeah, so I am doing something interesting these next few months here, guys. I'm going to be going down to Costa Rica for 3 months, starting in April. So I got some things I need to do in preparation, which is going to take away from me doing live streams at night like I normally do. But yeah, I will try to do a live stream tomorrow afternoon, and probably Wednesday afternoon as well. And then next week, I'm probably gonna do just stream. So I'm probably have to let you guys know, like there's gonna be a change in time slots where I'm gonna be doing afternoon live streams. But then when I'm in Costa Rica, I'm gonna try to do like a morning or afternoon live stream. Costa Rica is like 2 hours behind where I'm at right now. I'm in the East Coast. I'm over in like the Boston area, Massachusetts area, and they're like 2 hours behind. So when I go live, it's gonna be like whatever time it is for me in Costa Rica is gonna be like 2 hours behind New York and Boston. But I'm gonna try to do like afternoon live stream or a late morning live stream, and I'll probably be doing just like TikTok only. And then I'll do like a YouTube and a TikTok stream at night while I'm in Costa Rica. Like on the computer and going over the charts with you guys. But for like my morning and my late morning streams in Costa Rica, I'm probably gonna do just walking around with the camera phone and maybe, I don't know, going on a hike or something, walk the beach, chill out with you guys on the beach if I can, or just, you know, walking through the woods or whatever, walking through the jungle and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I plan on doing next month. So I'll be doing like two live streams if I can in April, every day for the most part. And then yeah, and then what else am I gonna do? I mean, you'll see more content. You'll see me do more TikToks and more YouTube, you know, shorts. I'll probably be doing that more often than I'm doing right now, because I'll have a lot more free time when I'm down there to do that. And yeah. So like I'm changing the schedule, changing things. We're gonna be seeing a lot of changes, guys, in the next couple of weeks, couple of months. But I am planning on doing these live streams where we look at the charts here with you guys. I'll be doing that, well, for now, later on this week, we'll be doing that in the afternoon. And then next week, we'll be doing afternoon streams as well. And then when I'm down in Costa Rica, we'll be doing nighttime streams looking at the charts, like we normally do. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the price of oil. And maybe we can take a look at the price of gold and silver after that. Let me just make sure I got the volume good here for my YouTube guys. Let me just make sure okay, yep, I can hear myself. Okay, good. Price of oil. West Texas oil. Trading at $94.77 here right now. Oil's having a red day. It had a red day here on Monday. Looks like we just started trading just now. It opened 15 minutes ago. They consider this Tuesday now for oil markets here. But it looks like we're still up and to the right for oil. Let's look at the money flow. Money flow is still in the green here for oil, the price of oil. We had a red sell dot here last Tuesday. That was after like oil had a blow off top at $120. I guess we're just waiting to see if there's going to be a green buy dot showing that price of oil is, going to continue going up. Now, I know, like, for some people, majority of people, they don't want to see the price of oil going up. But for the day traders out there that are looking for longs, you're waiting for a green buy dot to show up. It's signifying that this thing is going to continue going up. Last time we had a green buy dot was Friday, February 27th, right before the conflict in the Middle East started here. So money flow is still looking pretty solid here for price of oil. And then let's see. On the momentum indicators here, the MACD indicator, the blue line is starting to flatten out. It's starting to curve down just a little bit. And then buying pressure is starting to die down a little bit too. Okay, buying pressure doesn't start increasing again, then price of oil might go below 90 bucks here. Of course, we are, overbought here on the RSI indicator here. Not as overbought as we were on March 6th here at 88 on the RSI here, but the RSI is currently at 73, so we're still overbought on oil. But the thing about being overbought is you can continue being overbought. And I've heard that, Iran is still launching drones and missiles and rockets at their neighbors, like Saudi Arabia and the Kuwait and UAE. And if they keep doing that, then I can't imagine that the price of oil is actually going to go down if they're still blowing up oil facilities there. I think what caused the price of oil to go down from going, preventing it from going exponential was they did open up the strategic reserve for the United States. 170 million barrels of oil is going to get released, along with some other countries, for a total of like 400 million barrels. So that kind of put a damper on it. And then also the Trump administration, they took sanctions off of Russia. Russia wasn't allowed to sell their oil to anybody except for the countries that just didn't give a damn about the sanctions. So now the Russian oil tankers are able to go anywhere around the world and sell their oil. So that's also putting a damper on oil prices here. But that's all because they're trying to prevent it from skyrocketing higher. And if it does skyrocket higher, I mean, how much higher could oil go? Well, let's do a quick Fibonacci here and figure out where the price of oil could possibly go if it was to continue going up. We saw oil go up to like $119 here on March 9th. And we were coming out from like the $62 level here. Just in the middle of February, we were at like $62. We got a 1272 that says oil could get up to like $135. Then we got a 1618 that says $154 oil is a possibility here. I've heard like around the world news reports and from other oil analysts that $150 barrel in oil is where oil could be going if the conflict in the Middle East continues to rage on and doesn't actually die down. Then you'll see oil at $150, and the Fibonacci says that we could see $154 oil. And then let's see, doomsday number. We could see $212 oil. It's at 2618. I think that, I mean, what would that require? That would probably, if we start seeing like United States give up on negotiating with Iran, and they start, taking the gloves off, and they start hitting Iran pretty hard by actually, attacking Iranian oil production. Because right now they're trying to prevent themselves from attacking the oil fields and oil facilities in Iran, but if they start attacking Iran's oil facilities, then that's going to cause the price of oil to go up for sure, possibly to like $200 here. And it doesn't have to be the United States. It could be Israel. Israel could decide, hey, you know what? We're going to actually blow things up and prevent them from, funding Hamas and funding Hezbollah with their oil money, and that could cause the price to go up to $200. Okay, because if you blow up those Iranian oil facilities, it's going to take a long time to replace that, and that's going to affect the markets now, not later. So that's the only reason why I would think we would see $200 oil here. I think 150 could still happen, especially if things drag on out. Even if they don't attack oil facilities in Iran. If Iran is still attacking oil facilities in Saudi Arabia and Dubai and other countries, like Kuwait and stuff like that, then yeah, you're gonna see oil go up, not down, and you'll probably see $150 oil at some point here. So there you go. Those are the numbers to be looking out for onto the upside here. Downside, if for some reason, actually, I'm not gonna laugh at it, but like if Iran and the United States and Israel come to the negotiating table and they create a ceasefire or they end the war, you'll see oil go below $90 probably, and maybe come back down to this 21 EMA, sitting at $77. I think $77 is where I think that's a fair price for oil, because you have to remember there's been damage done. There's been oil facilities that have been attacked, and it's going to take some time for them to pump that oil out and get it to the markets here. So I think $77 is where we could kind of hover at later on this summer, because we just don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah, there's going to probably still be a risk premium, because even if there's a ceasefire, you don't know if they're going to end the ceasefire. So at any point the ceasefire could come to an abrupt end if they start attacking each other again. I gotta restart the music here. Give me a second here, guys. All right. Let's see. So that's oil in a nutshell for the most part there. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Alexandro for following me here on TikTok. Hopefully I'm saying your name right there. Let's see what the price of gold and silver are doing right now. Gold is chilling out at $5,002 here. It's hanging out near this Fibonacci level here at 0.65, 4,991. This is your golden pocket level here. And I measured this from the highs here at 5,598 down to the lows at 3,800. This is where we saw gold at in November of last year, before gold had that nice little blow off top in January. Gold is still consolidating. One might call this a potential bull flat here on gold. But if gold is able to stay above this golden pocket here, then the next level up above is 5,225, which is having a hard time staying above. But if it's able to stay above there, then 5,500 is the next level for gold. The all-time high at 5,598. And if we're able to push past that level, then there's a 1272 at $6,061 here for gold. So those are upside targets for gold. I didn't really talk about downside targets. There is, let's see. There is a 0.5 level here at 4,700. I'm not sure if that's going to really hold up as support. I don't see any confluence there on the charts. But I do see confluence here with the 50-day moving average and the 0.382 level at 4,531. The 50 days is currently at 4,560, and you got 4,531. So I think this is your support area for gold. Basically 4,500. Somewhere in that area is where gold could get support. So if you know how to do Fibonacci, that's great. But if you don't, then you can just put on your moving averages and just use this 50-day moving average, and that's going to be your support zone for gold. If it ever does come down there to lower levels, I would expect a reaction or a bounce off of 4,500 initially, and then we'll see what it does after that. Alright, moving on. Let's take a look at the price of silver. Probably looks the same as gold here. Yeah, you still had your blow off top here at 121 bucks here on the end of January. Making a lower high here. Could this be another lower high here for silver? I don't know, but you are still making higher lows here. So that's good to see for silver. Silver is closer to the 50-day moving average than I think gold is. Let's see, silver currently trading at $80.71 here. That 50-day moving average is at 71 bucks. That's a better area to buy some silver if you're still going to be bullish here on silver. Let's see, what's the momentum indicators doing here for silver? Is silver going to go up or down? Does it want to go up or does it want to go down? It looks like it wants to go down. You see selling pressure here with the red candles here on the MACD indicator. And then you can see that you got a MACD crossover to the downside with the blue line cross the orange line to the downside. That's leading me to believe that silver wants to go down, not up. So if that's the case, then, you know, how far down? Maybe the 50-day moving average at 71 bucks. This is where you should try to take profit on a short on silver. And let's see, look at the money flow indicator for silver. Money flow is coming down. You see this green? This is your money flow. And it is trending downward. I do not like that. That means, leads me to believe that silver is going down. So, I don't know, guys. Looks like the party is over for silver here. And you are getting money flow going down. If it continues going down, you're gonna see money flow go negative, and then you'll for sure see, you know, lower prices here on silver. All right, you guys have any other assets you want to take a look at? We just finished off looking at gold and silver and oil. Did a whole bunch of requests here with cryptos. I don't think we looked at XRP. We could take a look at XRP. I believe we had someone talking about XRP, but they didn't actually make a request for it. So let's look at XRP real quick. XRP currently trading at $1.53. Near the highest for the day at $1.54 was where so the highest price for XRP. XRP looks like, you know, just like a lot of other cryptos, just was flagging out here, and we're slowly creeping up to higher prices. We might get a little bit of a relief rally that could put us up to like $1.72 here. With that 50-day moving average is sitting at, I would expect that to be your take profit target for XRP to the upside. If it gets even more bullish than that, then you got the 100-day moving average at $1.91 is where I would take some more profit on XRP if you're able to do so. And then downside, you know, let's stay above $1.11. Okay, $1.11 is a very important level for us to stay above. But the last, let's see, last low. I mean, you got candlewick lows here, but you got a significant candlewick low here at $1.27. Don't lose $1.27, or else I think you will head down towards $1.11 here for XRP. But now that you got the 21 EMA below you, and you got the 21 EMA also curving up here, I think $1.39 should act as support initially before we go down to $1.27 and before we go down to $1.11 here. Those are areas to look for, you know, below you. $1.39, $1.27, $1.11 to the downside. Upside, we're looking for $1.72 and then $1.91 for now. Those are your two upside targets for XRP, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing here on the charts. Alright guys, if you guys appreciate the analysis that I've done so far, don't forget to smash that like button if you've done so already. For my TikTok guys, all you gotta do is double tap on your screen here. And don't forget to follow me here on TikTok. On the top left, you see my profile picture with me in the red shirt here. Make sure you're actually following the real gaming, because there's some fake guys out there trying to pretend to be me. And TikTok has a problem with fake accounts, so make sure you got the real me Damien here. Follow me here on TikTok. And then if you do go on TikTok, right, you can actually come join the Meet Damien community here, right, and click on that Linktree link here. It'll take you to the Meet Damien Linktree, and you'll be able to join the Meet Damien Discord server, which is free to join. Okay. And you can also see the exchanges that I trade on here. I am affiliated with WEEX, MEXC. I got a Coinbase link here. I have a Kraken link here. And I got a couple more exchanges I need to add on there too. But these are the referral links here. If you guys want to use the DeluxeAlgo indicator, okay, if you click on this link, it will get you over to the DeluxeAlgo indicator. Let me see if I can click on that, what shows up here. If you want to start trading using the DeluxeAlgo indicator here, okay, we do have DeluxeAlgo for only a one-time subscription of $49. Usually they charge about $199 here, okay. But this is where I get the DeluxeAlgo indicator. And let me just go back. I'll show you where that DeluxeAlgo indicator looks like. So I got it hidden right now, but when I turn them on here, it actually shows me like when to go long and short, which I think is helpful for some of the beginner traders here. Okay. But yeah, this is where it shows you like long, 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 when the short, when the short. So if you're looking for your signals here as to like when the long and when the short, you got that with the DeluxeAlgo indicator here. But this is an indicator that you have to pay. You have to pay to get started with. But I think it's going to be useful for both the you know, the beginner traders and also the experienced traders, because sometimes the experienced traders have a hard time figuring out whether it's time to long or short as well, especially if we're going sideways. You're not sure, are we going long or we're going to go short? And if you're not able to read the charts, you know, with some kind of experience behind you, then this indicator kind of helps with the lack of experience with reading the charts. When you got, you know, the long and the short indicator. We also got money flow indicator here, right? This is all part of the DeluxeAlgo package here. And the DeluxeAlgo money flow indicator shows you, like, you know, the green buy dots, where it's like, you know, a good time to buy would be, you know, for XRP was March 10th, okay? And you don't have a red sell dot, but the last time you had a red sell dot, it's like right over here, March 3rd, okay? But I guess that got canceled out with this green buy dot here on March 4th, so sometimes it kind of cancels itself out, okay? But if you're trying to figure out and follow along here, like the money flow indicators and the buying and sell dots here, then you can use that DeluxeAlgo indicator package, and all you gotta do is go into well, first of all, you gotta go into the Meet Damien Linktree, right? Use that referral link here, and it will take you over to DeluxeAlgo, where you can get started here, start trading using their indicators here. Okay. So that's my shameless plug there for DeluxeAlgo. Dawit says, "What about the Bitcoin? We looked at Bitcoin a couple of times already on the live stream. Thank you for sending me the heart me. I usually finish off by looking at Bitcoin before I end the live stream. Should I end the live stream now? I was going to try to do a 3-hour live stream. I think I've only been alive for about 2 hours and 20 minutes maybe. 2 hours and 15 minutes is what it's saying. Alright, we'll take a look at Bitcoin one more time. Sure, why not? Bitcoin currently trading at 74,674, and I have said that I could see Bitcoin climbing up to higher prices here. Using that DeluxeAlgo indicator here, it did tell you the long Bitcoin March 10th. The lowest price you could have got it around that day was like 68K. It opened up at 68K, and then it closed at 69,900, and then look, green, 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 green after that. So that you know, that indicator is pretty useful here, right? Tells you when the long. Also tells you when the short too. Now you just keep in mind that you could short, right? And then it, you know, eventually a couple of days later you could get a signal here that says it's time to long. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Right now, there's no signal saying that it's time to short or sell Bitcoin right now. So that's why you're seeing Bitcoin right now climbing at 74,700. and getting near the highs for the day at 74,900. I did say I was going to try to short Bitcoin at 75K as an idea here, but if Bitcoin has the momentum to go to higher prices, then maybe I might wait until 76 or 77K. I'm going to have to look at the 1 hour time frame to see, do we have the momentum to go to higher prices here? How are things looking? And then also I want to look at the RSI too to get an idea too. So, here on the 1 hour time frame, the momentum indicator that I like using is the MACD indicator. And it is showing that there is green buying pressure showing up. You got a MACD crossover to the upside. I think we talked about this an hour earlier in the live stream. I said, you know, I think we're going to see higher prices for Bitcoin later on tonight and near the daily candle close, which is like an hour and 30 minutes from now. I think Bitcoin wants to go up to higher prices, and you're seeing that. You've seen earlier in the live stream, Bitcoin got to like 74,800, and I guess while I was talking about, you know, oil and gold and all the other stuff here, the price of Bitcoin went up to 74,900 while I was distracted talking to you guys on the live stream here. So, yeah, Bitcoin does want to go to higher prices here. Now, you know, do you get into a long right now? Do you just go and do a day trade and do some leverage trading right now? Probably not, you know, like this is good for the people that I got into Bitcoin earlier today and yesterday at lower prices here. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to go up to higher prices so I can try to enter a short maybe at like 75 or 77, 78K. This is my zone that I'm trying to short Bitcoin at. But, you know, even if Bitcoin went to 75K right now, it still looks pretty strong on the momentum on the 1 hour time frame. Like if Bitcoin went to 75K literally right now while I'm streaming with you guys here, I think it could go to like 76, 77 later on tonight. Because of what I'm seeing here, the buying pressure is just getting started here on the 1 hour time frame. And then money flow on the 1 hour time frame, still solid and in the green, and you do not have a red sell dot saying that now is the time to sell Bitcoin. And then let's look at the RSI. Are we overbought on Bitcoin? We're not even overbought. On the 1 hour time frame, we're at 68. Now 70 is your overbought area. When we get to 70, you're going to be overbought on Bitcoin. Looks like we haven't been overbought since 1 a.m. earlier this morning. But we might get overbought later on tonight. So when we get overbought later on tonight, then I'll be like, all right, maybe I should enter a short on Bitcoin. So hopefully that answers your question. Tuan says, short Bitcoin with a question mark? Yeah, you can do that. If you want to short Bitcoin, you can do that on MEXC and WEEX Exchange here. Okay, let me just show you MEXC real quick here. So you could trade Bitcoin on MEXC Exchange using perpetual futures here. Okay, this is MEXC here. You see on the top left, and you got the price of Bitcoin right there. Okay, and you can trade with leverage right here. You can trade leverage, 20x leverage, but you can do more than that if you want. You can do as much leverage as like, oh look, can I do 500x leverage? I think I can. I think it will let me do 500x leverage. But yeah, that's a little bit too much leverage. I normally, when I'm trading Bitcoin, I'm doing like 20x leverage to like 50x leverage. Sometimes you might see me do 100x leverage if I'm feeling really good and confident about a trade. I'll try to do 100x leverage, but usually I stick to like 20x to like 50x leverage for my trading on Bitcoin. And yeah, you can trade Bitcoin here. We can short or long it. If you want to short it, you just click open short there on the right, that red button, and you can long it by clicking that green button, that open long position right there. And then of course you can also do the same thing here on WEEX Exchange. WEEX has a cryptocurrency exchange where you can long and short Bitcoin. And sometimes, you know, all right, here we go. You got the chart here, you got the price of Bitcoin, and you could put in, whether you want to long or short it here. And then you got your leverage here to the top right. And then goes, you got a bunch of other futures you can trade besides Bitcoin. You can trade Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Dogecoin, all futures, Solana, Chainlink, Cardano, Polkadot, and you can long or short them. But yeah, I already did some longs here on Bitcoin on WEEX Exchange. Yesterday I was long in Bitcoin with 40x leverage, and I had about 0.17 Bitcoin at that time. I got in at 71,170, and it's saying that I closed at 72k here. I got a realized profit about $194 there, 61%, up 61%. So there you go. That was me day trading Bitcoin yesterday. Now I don't always get wins. Sometimes I got losses. I got losses of like $43 here on Bitcoin. I think that was me trying to long it as well. Okay, just picked a bad entry, bad area to get in. It didn't play out, and I lost, and I lost $43 on that trade. Down 21%. I only like to lose 20% on my trades that don't go well for me, because I want to keep the losses small. If you keep the losses small, eventually your gains, your winners will take care of the losses and then some, where you'll be able to stay profitable and make some profit, right? That's what we're trying to do, is make more money. But yeah, I mean, I'm not perfect, and I actually did lose a trade here trying to long Bitcoin. I think this was a Bitcoin short, where I tried to do 40x short on Bitcoin, right? I shorted at 68,970, and then Bitcoin went up to 69,300, and I got out of the short. Lost about 29 bucks, lost about 19%. And let's see, that was like almost like a week ago, on March 9th. So they can't all be winners, but that's me just trading Bitcoin here with the position history that I got on Bitcoin. But yeah, you can long and short Bitcoin here on WEEX, and you can long and short it on MEXC. And for my TikTok guys, if you want to start doing that, click on that, go to Meet Damien. Don't forget to follow me if you haven't done so already. Click on that link there, Linktree. Okay, you'll get the Meet Damien Linktree showing up here. And you can start trading with WEEX by clicking on that link there. WEEX is great because they don't do KYC unless you want to. And you don't need a VPN to get started using them. All you need is like a phone number or an email to set up your account. Now, MEXC, a little bit more involved. If you're in the United States or Canada, you're going to probably need a VPN to get around and let yourself actually trade on their exchange, because they're a little bit more strict with having American customers on their exchange. But if you can show you that you have a VPN that says that you're in France or Ireland or something like that, then it gets around that. And they don't do KYC either unless you want to. And if you do KYC, it allows you to put more money on exchange and do more things. But if you don't want to put too much money on the exchange, which I don't suggest putting a lot of money on the exchanges unless you're inclined to do so. Just keep in mind that these exchanges are still exchanges that, if they go belly up, they could go bankrupt. And then what happens to your money then, right? Or if they get hacked, what happens to your money then? You gotta be careful with the exchanges here. But if you know what you're doing and you know what you're willing to risk, then you get started trading on WEEX or MEXC to day trade, like I do here on a day-to-day basis here. Thank you, JD, for following me here on TikTok. JD says, does XRP gonna go down again? Your take profit yesterday was at $1.40 and now it's $1.50. You want it to go back? Let's see, what were we looking at here for XRP? Yeah, XRP's at $1.54 now. You're wondering if it's going to go down? Well, I think Bitcoin's on its way up, so I don't know if XRP is going to go down unless Bitcoin decides to end the party here and cause us to go down. And you're over here talking about take profit at $1.40. Were you longing or shorting XRP? I'll stick to the the 1 hour time frame for the day trading here because it sounds like you're day trading it. If XRP all of a sudden like decides to go down to lower prices here, I think you got the 21 EMA on this 1 hour time frame at $1.49. Provides support for XRP. If you lose that, then maybe it goes down further down to the 50-day moving average at $1.42. So I'd be looking for like $1.49 and $1.42 for if you're trying to short XRP as your take profit target 1 and take profit target 2. Ah, you do spot. Okay. All right. So you're not really day trading XRP. All right. But you still use TP, and I don't know, I just assumed that you were day trading it. But you still use that term TP if you're spot trading. That is part of trading, is taking profit. So your TP, if you're in it for the long term here on XRP, I would maybe consider taking profit at $1.72, which is where that 50-day moving average is sitting at. You also got this candlewick high here at $1.67, so maybe $1.67 to like $1.72 is your zone to be taking profit, right, on XRP. You want like this zone right here, $1.72 to like $1.67 as your next take profit target. JD says, should you enter again on XRP? I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. And let me just put out the disclaimer, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy here on YouTube and TikTok going over my favorite stocks and cryptos to look at. We're over here, you know, I'm just an educator and teacher and sometimes an entertainer, if you guys think I'm funny or not. But yeah, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really tell you what to do. But I can tell you what I would do if I was still in XRP. I would try to take a profit at $1.67 to like $1.72. Okay, but taking profit right now, not a bad idea. So for you taking profit at $1.50, I mean that's probably what I would have done. Okay, but you have to have a little ammo just in case you go up to higher prices. You can sell some more at $1.50. Now, if you took 100% of your position off the table at $1.50, that's not bad either. But you're preventing yourself from getting, you know, more gains by, you know, XRP going to $1.67, $1.72. So I'm not sure what you did, but maybe, you know, you could break it up where you sell 30% of your XRP now at $1.54. Then you sell another 30% at $1.67, and then sell the rest of it, which would be 40%, at $1.72. And you just break up your take profits as you're taking profit at you know, higher prices here. So that's how I would trade XRP if I was if I had XRP. Right now I don't have XRP, so all that was just wishful thinking. A lot of people are hyping up XRP on TikTok. Yeah, they always do. They've been doing that. They've been doing that for years. Even before I joined TikTok, they were doing that. But yeah, I mean, that's XRP is pretty big. Every time I do a video on XRP, it always gets a lot of views here on TikTok. That I know for sure. Yeah. But the XRP army is always hyping up XRP. Alright, let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently at 74,800. I think this is the highest price I've ever seen it on my stream while I was watching it with you guys here. Yeah, I think Bitcoin is on its way to 75, 76K, and I just don't know if I mean, I'm still not interested in shorting it right now. I haven't even looked at CoinGlass to see what the liquidation heat map is looking like. I'm pretty sure there's probably some liquidity here, and we might get a little bit of short squeeze where, you know, Bitcoin could go up to like 77 or 78K later on tonight or tomorrow. Back to the 1 hour MACD. Like I said, I think the party could just be getting started here on Bitcoin to go to higher prices. I'm not really interested in shorting it just yet. And we already looked at the RSI here, right? Where Bitcoin's not even overbought yet. So when Bitcoin becomes overbought on the 1 hour time frame, I would try to entertain the idea of shorting it. Let's see what it's looking like on the 15-minute time frame. It's not even overbought on the 15-minute time frame either. Oh man, so Bitcoin could be, yeah, for sure going up higher now. I don't see what's gonna stop it. And I already longed it yesterday and took profit on my long. So, you know, I'm missing out right now, but did I? Because I sold Bitcoin at 74K yesterday. And we're only up $800 from where I sold it at. But if I see a pullback, you know, to the 21 EMA, maybe I would try to long Bitcoin. But I gotta see a pullback right now. I'm not gonna buy any of the highs of the day and be like, yeah, let's long Bitcoin right now. I'm not gonna do that right now. No. That's how you get yourself hurt. Oh man, my bad. Well, I think we've done almost like a 3-hour live stream here. Let's see, I got 20 new followers here on TikTok. That's nice to see, nice to see. And my YouTube guys, you guys are still around. There's 9 of you guys. I haven't seen anybody talking yet. Oh, what the hell? Nope. Alright, I thought we just had a new comment there, but we didn't. Well, I think I'm about ready to wrap up this live stream here, guys. And then Bitcoin's on its way up to higher prices here. I don't see anything that says that it needs to go down to lower prices. I will look for any pullbacks to the 21 EMA, and I would try to long Bitcoin if I can, if it does come down to 21 EMA, because right now the 21 EMA is acting as support right now, and that's like the lowest price you can get before it goes even higher on you. So I'd be looking to long Bitcoin if it does drop down to 21 EMA. That's sitting at like 73,700, about $1,000 below where we are right now. So Bitcoin just just poops itself and drops down to like 73K. Then I would try to take a long on it. But no, I can't. I have to sit on my hands and I have to either wait for the short or just not trade it at all. But I can root for you guys who are on long in Bitcoin and crypto. Congratulations, you're making some money today, which I know it's been tough to do the last few days, few weeks here. So you're finally getting some relief here. Guys, don't forget to follow and follow me here on Twitter. I actually do have a Meet Damien Twitter here. Let me just pull up here real quick. But you can come follow me here on Twitter, and you'll see when I go live. And sometimes I post up some charts that I'm looking at, like price of oil, and post up some interesting news events here that are affecting crypto. And also posting up some funny memes here too. When they say you just got lucky, right? Let's see, let's click on that. They don't realize, what you had to go through to get that luck. Anyways, yeah, that's some memes I like to share. Oh, of course, yeah. trading strategy when you try to like trade the markets here. This is funny. And when you actually trade the markets, huh? It always seems a lot easier when you're not using your own money. But then when you actually start trading, it becomes a whole different ball game. But yeah, you guys can follow me here on Twitter as well if you want to. See what I'm doing there on Twitter. Okay. And you know, once again, for my TikTok guys, you just click on that link here, the link tree, and it'll take you over to the links here, and you'll see my my socials. You got my Twitter, my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I even got a Meet Damien Facebook too. Alrighty. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna plan on going live again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll plan on maybe doing like a 2-hour live stream, 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern time. And probably be the same thing on Wednesday as well. We're gonna be doing some afternoon streams now. Alright, but if you guys want to continue talking to me when I'm not live streaming, you can come join the Meet Damien Discord. Just find me there. And this is where you know, we share our thoughts, share our gains here. And you'll also see when I go live on the Meet Damien Discord, which is free to join. For my YouTube guys, the link should be the link to join the YouTube should be in the description to the video that you're watching. But also, if you go to the Meet Damien YouTube page, you know, you can see the links here. And where's that Discord link? Should be right there. Yeah, there it is, right there. Discord link right there. Okay. And then also you can just click on that link tree as well, and it should take you here, and you can join the Meet Damien server right there, free to join. Alrighty guys, I wish you guys the best of luck in whatever trades you decide to get into, and I'll plan on seeing you guys tomorrow. Take care. Rich, you showed up towards the end of the live stream, but I appreciate you coming, and I see you, Rich. It's your nap time. Oh man, Rich. Well, Rich, you know where to find me in the Discord. You can find me there. I'm not sure if there was a request that you had. But yeah, just better luck next time, yeah. I'm actually going to be doing afternoon streams again, so this might be the last night stream that you see for a while until I go to Costa Rica in April. But I'm going to be doing some afternoon streams just because my schedule is going to be really busy during the nighttime in the next few days, the next few weeks. Alright, yeah, maybe I'll see you on Porky's live stream or something like that. Or maybe I'll see like maybe Road Dog Crypto. I usually go on Road Dog Crypto stream towards the late night hours. Take care and good luck, my friend, in whatever trade you get into. We'll stay in touch on the Discord.